Welcome, welcome, welcome again. It's always a pleasure to have you joining us for our how to session. Again, this wouldn't be the same without you. You are the making of this core tribe. I hope your day has been unfolding with a bang. Success stories been piling up. And I also hope that you have some questions for me today. It's always a pleasure to answer them. So, for those who are new, thank you for joining us. Uh, this is a safe space for marketing where we address different fundamentals on how to approach this exercise the right way and make it a success. As we usually do, we will start with a round of question. Oh, before we go into the round of question, my name is Virgil, for those who don't know me, and we have, I should say, with us, the Blakester in the chat. At any point in time, if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. We'll bring you forward so everybody can share in the content or in the discussion. Otherwise, you can type your question in the chat and Robert will happily give answer to it. So, in good tradition, we will start as we usually do with an open round of question on any specific things, well, specific to our approach, our use of Now Site, since we are all part of the Now Site environment or came from that Now Site environment. And once we address these questions, or if we don't have, we'll carry on our conversation. Yes, that we started yesterday. Good for everybody? Questions? Any specific subject hurdle that you would want to go over? Going once, going twice, and three. So to silence as we usually do. So again, at any point in time, you can time in with a question. It's always a pleasure, and it usually adds into the conversation topic here. So yesterday we were discussing the product profiler, which is definitely an exercise that I encourage you to all take part in. The real purpose of this tool or this exercise, as you notice, is alignment, right? Yesterday in our exchange, Dell was testing the tool as we were uh, going forward with it. And he had a question around the result that he was receiving from the tool and the perspective in which he was trying to go, right? The intention after a little bit of probe came to the core interest of giving or offering the tool to a niche audience that had the interest at preserving their memories, their family event content for posterity, right? And that would factor in to that product description as being its core value among many. But for that audience, that niche, that specific conversation, the way he was expecting to lead into it, it made a big difference, right? So the purpose of these tools, coming back to that conversation of the who and the UVP, is really giving you the mechanics to approach the problem and solve it properly. There's I'm going to make it a brief touch up. I'm going to touch on it today, but this is also a course that I'm going to be working on, or a case discussion around the process of or the problem solving approach, prompt engineering, and algorithmic thinking, if I pronounce that right. Right? Uh, in simple form, it means the same thing, breaking down a problem so that we can address it step by step. Same thing when you are doing prompt engineering. If you guys are impressed with what I've done or wonder how I've done it, well, it's all upon that basis. Algorithmic thinking, problem solving, and prompt engineering, right? And these are big words just to say again that you need to segment your approach, even when you're solving a problem, even when you're running a venture. Well, these are complex situation. And a complex situation is just an accumulation of simpler process, right? And this is the mind frame that you want to align yourself with, right? In the exchange that I had yesterday with Dell, the conversation went straight to that first step, right? This is the end result. It's not matching the outcome that we were expecting. It's not aligning with our uh, um, um, vision. Let's go back to step one and see where we went wrong. Good for everybody so far? I want to know if anybody uh, between yesterday and today tested the tool and has the report so we can maybe take a look at it, have some questions on it, go through that process of breaking down the results so we can come back to the root of the problem. And that's also a very important um, uh, framework to have in mind constantly, because this again will come into play when you're stuck in this zone, right? What is the problem? I am in the rapport situation and I can't move forward. Well, the problem would be most likely the pivot that you would need to act on to go into the presentation, right? Algorithmic thinking, problem solving, and prompt engineering all fall into that also mind frame of bringing solutions to people, right? If you're going to bring a solution to somebody, you have to have a good way of assessing the problem, again, so that you can go to the core, peeling off all the layers of confusion and decision or misdirection. Make sense for everybody? So, anybody has uh, the result of one of their brand profile exercise that they would want to discuss? So I assume you have all taken or not yet gotten around to it. Okay. So definitely I recommend doing so. If you or when you will take a look at the tool, you'll notice again that there are three parts to this tool. The first one is about the prospect, the other one is about the product, and the last one is about aligning this conversation, aligning the two, right? And again, this is a good demonstration or a good point to this conversation, since in the end, what we did after we got the product was the product description or the target um, audience out of the product description as we described it to the tool. In the end, when we got that, we understood that the issue was the alignment. It didn't allow us to go into that direction, the conversation that we would have had in mind, or in this case, that what Dell would have had in mind. And I think this is usually the big issue at going into a conversation, knowing your product, knowing your product, knowing your product. After that, even if you don't know your audience, by talking properly about the product, the people that feel that understand the benefit or that relate with what problem it's looking to solve will raise their hand, right? So it's another way of attracting the right people, knowing how to talk about your product properly. Okay. And you will see that when you are using this tool, it's going to require basic knowledge about the audience and the product. Because at this point, what we're trying to do is align the proper conversation between who's going to be taking advantage of the product and what are the benefits of the products. Okay, so and you will notice that the patterns remain the same, right? What is the product? What does it solve? Right? Based on that specific choice of direction, you are now apt at giving that one liner. And that usually will start bringing in your unique value positioning because you're positioning that feature, that specific product impact on the audience. And remember yesterday when we discussed this, there was one comment about the ease of having a client open up depending on how the interaction was made. When they are driven by urgency, when they connect, they're looking for one or two solutions. This expert, is he able to do this for me? Great. I want to talk to him. Which also comes back to this conversation around your business card, right? Expertise, promise, call to action, right? This is who I am. This is my expertise at resolving these type of problem. This is how you get in touch with me. And you can see that when you're going through this tool, these are the fundamental criteria that we're looking at, receiving from you, right? So same thing, just going through this step by step, even if it feels a little tedious, if you do it right, will allow you to save a lot of time, right? Because your content will be more driven to the point of impact. Questions so far? Pushback, comments? I would want, just like Dell did, for somebody to step up with a specific question that they have around their product. Because at this point, I think that if we're all coming to these sessions, there is one solution, there is one issue that we want to deal with. Hey, hello, Dr. Lisa. It's always a pleasure to have you add in. The mic is yours.
Well, I just want to say, please forgive me. I missed the last couple of days when you introduced the tool. But as things would happen, I'm exactly in the same process. And
Beautiful.
I am reaping the benefits now of having done the avatar work and the alignment work. And just it amazes me, just one word makes such a difference in alignment. And I have to go back and okay, I have to change that slide. Oh, it was also in this landing page. Okay, I got to change, but just for one word to hone in that alignment, it is worth it because it makes it clearer for me, and also makes it clear for the prospect. And I know I have to fight with myself. It's totally a personal development exercise as well, because, I'm so proud I can use this certain language. And yes, I've learned this term and I should be able to use, and no, people want to know, they don't want the language. They don't want to know what they want to know how you can help them. And to get
Absolutely.
really, really clear on that. So I'm looking forward to using the tool. And I'll have to go back and watch the replay, but I can tell you the importance of and the freedom of dialing in that clarity, because once you're in alignment, everything's everything opens up.
Absolutely. You're right. There's so much weight in each words, especially in our business, since it's the art of communication, right? Often enough, there's a little bit of confusion when we hear master your keywords, master your keyword. It looks to be these secret words that are floating around that you need to come to terms with, when in fact they're just words that are already part of your lexic and part of the audience's lexic, right?
Yep.
This is very important because whenever we say keep it simple, or when we say speak to the greatest amount of people, or aim to touch, to reach the greatest amount of people, when you're doing attraction marketing, well, these keywords make a difference, right? Just like yesterday, the change of perspective from data to memory redefined completely the audience, right? Because data, it's business. It's business information. It's client information. It's a record. But when you say
Mhm.
memories, when you say past family pictures and family event saved for future legacy to see, then that data takes on a new form. And your conversation as well will be driven by that. It will be, hey, do you remember that uh, uh, that birthday that you had 15 years ago? Imagine if you could bring back these footage and show it to your friend, or bring it back this your next birthday and show how much you have grown and changed, right? The conversation becomes different if you're speaking to a parent. Remember your baby daughter's pictures? Wow, if you had a way of sharing it with her grandparents at a click of a button and making sure that it was never lost, right? That conversation now is positioned to make that family, that head of the household, react in that way. Still talking about the product, because in the end, once these memories are turned into zeros and one, they're data. But the way they are spoken or presented will change. And that's important. Same when you're dealing with uh, um, an elite or a high scale client or business, as opposed to dealing with a solopreneur, with just being the army of one. The same service would be needed, but the presentation of it would be different, right? Whereas we would speak to that solopreneur in a way to make him understand that everything is there in uh, in a place for him to grow. Simply, when we present this tool to a larger organization, we will say that everything is put in place for them to scale to the whole of their organization with ease, right? The words used to bend the wheel or to push or pull towards you becomes different, right? And these exercises are made for you to actually start clarifying, how am I structuring my product description for this pitch aim at this audience, right? And this is usually the mistake that we uh, um, stay in when we're looking just at the macro view. We are looking at that big picture, but not looking at, okay, well, this is the bigger niche of client. Okay, now when I start breaking them down specifically to their interests, or how this product responds to their interests, the conversation also has to adapt, right? The marketing is just the result of this conversation adapting itself to suit the audience. After that, it is easy to sustain the conversation in the right direction. Okay, so definitely take a stab at it. And again, the three products are essentially working the same way. They're asking you simple question, but covering specific points about the audience, about the product that in the end have to be aligned. Questions, intake, comments, personal situation between products, for example, that you had an issue describing or understanding. Or I would say, what is the most complex type of product that you came across and that you had difficulties pitching? Maybe we can find that and use it as a case study example. Or just now cite for what it was. When we were offering this tool, we had these different tiers. You had the My AI, you had the marketing, you had the team section. Well, these are all part of a suite of tool and that are all required for any entrepreneur at any stage, beginner, intermediate, or elite. But depending on the ear, you had to adapt the conversation, the pitch of the tool to the intended audience, right? If you are starting out, we talk about the My AI for ease. That is what is the most difficult at the beginning, the process of building consistency, right? Getting you out there with ease and confidence to post, even if it is generally around the topic, at least we're in that macro room. Slowly bringing you the nav and the sales flow for that micro interaction, that specific interaction, right? So tools are usually built like that. The more complex situation is just a whole bunch of simple steps that in the end make up a very large process. And you mastering those is understanding or having the ability to pick apart these conversation, looking at how it was positioned to pull out the true value, or looking at your audience and looking at the product and understanding, well, based on these expectations, these are the points about my product that I need to put forward. Questions so far? No questions. So quiz then. Let's do one of those together. And this is also one of the things that I haven't done with this platform yet. Once you put something together to really test it, you want to break it, meaning I'm going to try things that will not necessarily align and see the result. And usually by seeing the outcome of the mistake, you get better awareness of what pitfalls to avoid. Are you do you guys want to participate to this with me? Well, you're going to participate. You're here. So in the chat, let's start together. Name one-liner for a problem or product and the problem that it solves. Somebody wants to give me something here in the chat? I'll put it in and we'll move on to the next question.
We figure out what the product is on our own, or are you going to tell us what the product is?
No. We're gonna fill this out together. Oh, I'm gonna drop the link of this the tool in the chat. So if you guys want to follow along, you can. But we're gonna fill it out together. Or you can also fill it out on yourself. For those who don't want to do it by themselves, we can share. So we'll start with one product. Anybody has a product in mind that we want to work with? Don't be shy. I'm sure you guys have products that we're trying to put that you're going to try to promote. So let's put it to the test.
Would it be selfish of me to step forward again?
Absolutely not. Step in. If nobody is taking the spot, then there's no selfishness. Take advantage of
Right.
it. So
You
Okay.
get an A for participation. You get all the points today.
there
You
you go.
support.
Okay, so I have this is interesting because I'm building a high ticket coaching program, health and wellness.
So high ticket
Um,
program pushing. Okay.
but I also, as part of the program, am promoting my supplements as a network marketing supplement line that I use that works, et cetera. And we just came out with this amazing package, which is, GLP-1 is all the rage. So it's a natural GLP-1 support for weight loss.
Okay.
And I've been on a diet since I was 6.
Okay.
And I've been fighting using weight, like it's like I don't want to just focus on weight loss, but I have just over this process of alignment and like what does my avatar really want? And so one of my campaigns is going to be lose 20. One of my campaign promises for this product is lose 20 pounds in 30 days for good, or and keep it off. And I wrestled with that, but that's the promise of the kit, let's say the GLP-1 support kit.
Okay. So the name would be GOP1 support kit.
Or let's see, 30-day weight loss kit.
Okay. It's 30-day week. Or you mentioned that there was weight loss and more. Can we say weight control, or it's specifically weight loss that we want?
I'm going to stick with weight loss right now.
Okay.
We can do weight control, weight maintenance, weight management, all those words imply different things, but
Okay.
I want to tackle weight loss head on.
Right, perfect. Because the more targeted you are, the more direct is your conversation, right? Because yes, weight control, weight management is the attraction conversation. If you want to control, you want to take control over your body, we have a solution specifically in the category of weight loss, right? So instead of saying all that, we go directly. We are offering a solution for those who have an interest in losing weight. It's easy,
Right.
it's proven, right? So, so we have the 30-day weight loss, easy. And what is the name again?
I think uh, that's what I call it. But
30-day weight
it's a
loss?
30-day weight loss.
Because now, one of the things about products, or one of the things about power into conversation, is when something has a name. When you name it specifically, it takes a lot more power. It gets a lot more power. 30-day weight loss is the function of this, right? So you want to give it a little bit more personality. You said it's GOP, right? Based GOP.
Yeah.
So say
GLP-1 support kit.
GOP
It could be.
kit. So we'll call it like that. Now, GOP, I gather that this is very specific for those who understand what it is.
It's in the news, Ozempic and there are these shots people are taking and things that simulate it, but it's very much in the news.
Okay, perfect. So it's known. So GOP kit, 30-day weight loss, easy to use.
No needles. That's the underneath.
Okay, so here, so one-liner description. So no injection. Oh, just use my here. So you already have a description there handy that you're already referring to that?
Um, uh, yes, I think so. Let me think.
You
So,
copy paste
Go
the
ahead and do it, Dr. Lisa. ChatGPT.
well, at this
Kim, is
stage,
that you?
yeah, it's Kim we timed in.
Oh, wow.
At this
So,
stage, what I would rather we not do is chat for now. Again, it comes back to that idea of approaching prompt engineering, algorithm, problem solving with something already in mind, right? So, and this
yeah,
is, for example, the way that all these tools that I'm showing now have been created, right? I drafted everything, all the process that I wanted the tool to follow, understanding it, and then I delivered it to AI for it to give me that result, right? So this year, in the end, once you go through it manually, the result of this is what you will technically start working with, giving it to higher AIs to build strategy around, right? So that's the thing. But give me what you have already. We'll pick it apart and put it here in terms of speeding up the process. Because I'm pretty sure you already have it in mind. What we're going to try to do in the aspect of breaking the product and see what is the result of the alignment is that when we go to the prospect, we'll target a prospect that doesn't align with this conversation and see exactly where the discrepancy falls, right? If this tool is supposed to work this way, what happens if I do this the wrong way? And how does it highlight how can I recognize those mistakes, pick up on those patterns as being the outcome of these side decision and avoid these pitfalls, right? So before we go, because chat is something that we have been using all along, right? So the goal
so
here, go ahead,
yeah,
sorry,
I want to show you something,
go ahead.
and I'm on my phone, and I'm afraid I'll lose you trying to go get it, but I will try.
Okay.
So, um, but yeah, like I said, I've been doing this process.
Is it a natural product?
Yes.
Percent natural. There is no secondary effect, eh?
Correct.
Perfect.
Side
So
effects, no.
no side effects. So does this as a one-liner description fits this? No injection solution to weight loss, 100% natural with no side effects.
Yes.
Make sense? Okay. Now, specific problem. Uh, how would you answer this? And I'm pretty sure that your product has different things that it solves or address, all in the works of uh, of uh, of controlling weight. Does it also work good or address a specific issue that is tied to that? Blood pressure, anything of the sort that usually come together uh, with the weight loss or the weight situation that we can tie in as being one of the specific issues as well?
Um,
Weight loss?
I'm sure it would, but I have to, we have to be careful about what we say or claim. in, when talking about health and wellness.
Perfect. Already you see that when you are asked these questions, you are forced to start considering certain things, right? Certain points about your products. And that is actually the goal of this, to get you to really know your product by choosing how you're going to describe it, right? This is the most important part of this exercise, choosing how I'm going to describe it. Because our product, again, coming back to what we often cover, are multifaceted.
Yes.
They're multifaceted. So we have to pick a direction. And that usually will line up with the audience that we are targeting. Right? Do you have a full description of the product that you can share in the chat? And I'll start looking at it. I'll pick it apart and put things here that would work in our favor or in your in the direction of your intention.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'll take it.
But let me go and come. I will go and come because I need to get on my desktop. I can't think.
No
with
worries.
my-
Take your time. Sorry, I put you under the gun. Maybe that's why there, because I'm barraging you with a whole bunch of questions.
Virgil,
And
you have to understand, to see Dr. Lisa on the phone, that's like rare. When she
so,
Also,
she's on the move. She's on the move.
so what I did while, you were discussing the different
mhm.
points with Dr. Lisa, I was like, yeah, these are really good questions. So I just copied this form and put it in chat and say, hey, help me find out what my product is and help me answer these questions. And it did a pretty good job.
Yeah, give me
Uh,
a give me the copy of it and we'll take a look at it. Go ahead.
so it says what my core, one of the things that they're suggesting was
Mhm.
my core name be Veteran Life Reboot because we were talking about purpose after service
Mhm.
for military veterans.
Mhm.
And it's a guided empowerment and connection program for veterans. A one-liner description, helping veterans reconnect, rebuild, and thrive after service through community, purpose-driven coaching, and resource navigation. Problem solved. Many veterans, especially women, struggle to redefine identity, find belonging, and access benefits after leaving the military. This program bridges the gap with mentorship, personal development, and practical tools for civilian success. So even with that, that is like, oh wow. Because there's been so many things floating in my head and I just didn't know the language. I knew what I wanted to do, but I just couldn't figure out the language of this. So, this was really helpful and all I did was copy. So if you guys are out there, copy and paste and ask it based on what you're doing, help you to fill that out and maybe it'll help you get some direction and then you can tweak it from there.
That's a good thing. Okay. Do that. But definitely come back and manually put those in. Because remember,
Mhm.
there's one thing that we are trying to do here, muscle memory,
Yes.
right? Whenever you take that route where you get the information from AI, you got it. You also need to take ownership, read it, absorb it, remember it, include it into your work. By doing this question after question, not only, as you just mentioned, you get to cross-check these answers and say, okay, yeah, that works for me, so I'll copy paste this in and such, or that doesn't work for me, I'm going to adjust
Right.
it. Okay.
Right.
But by doing that step by step, you consolidate that choice or these choices in there yourself. And that's the most important part.
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the things I learned in my career, even working for other people, it was hard for them to come up with the main idea. It was easier for them to critique something than it is to come up with something new. And so, knowing this, it's like, okay, yeah, now that I can see some results, now I can critique it, now I can make it my own, now I can adjust it to what I need it to be. But it was hard getting started. And so that was just how it helped me out. So,
Yeah.
yay.
It's usually the case. The logic at creating something is different than the emotion responding to what is offered. Because once you are given an answer, you're giving a direction. And if it works with where you want to go, you have that. If it doesn't, then you start clearly seeing where that differs from your path, right? So that is good as well. So I guess the next step for you to find out the rest of the step of the questions to put it into chat and feel it would be taking this exercise of it as well, right? So it's a quick way of doing it. In our case scenario, you want to take this approach, even if you're getting it from chat, put it in. Go to the next. Apply the same process if you want. Have chat do it. But again, you are going to have to type it in. Why? Because it's that mechanic that will make sure that, well, this is anchored here, at least for that direction. I have these points. I have them in the back of my mind. I have applied them. I've seen how they all lined up. When I go out there, the conversation should be smooth. If it if the questions that you receive from your target audience while you're having that exchange are going in different direction than what was the outcome of your evaluation, then you're looking at a different type of audience than the one that you had in mind for this conversation. Either we switch or we move to the next one, right? And that allows you to have to build a certain consistency into your process. I'm repeating this until I get this result. If I get this result, I continue. If I don't, I move into the next phase or come back to the beginning, right? And this is where you start thinking like the machine, right? Thinking like the machine. If you are gonna use AI, you want to start aligning also the way you address it. Just much like uh, Robert suggested last time, is if at one point you find yourself speaking to AI like it's a person, because it's the best way for you to get across your logic, then that's fine. As long as you are following a specific process and understanding where you are going to solve your problem. Right here, for example, Doria, what you did, you went to the AI. I have a set of questions. I want a set of answers for each one of these questions. Right, straightforward. You get it, you evaluate. Then once you have that, next step, right? And ideally, if everything was like that, then it wouldn't have an issue. You already always have the set questions that you need to produce the right outcome that you're expecting.
Yeah, I
Anybody?
also love the tool because I didn't know what questions to ask. And this was really good too. And also, I just yesterday, I was just told I need to put a proposal in because I'm also the president of the Veteran Service Council to show my relevance because we've been kind of overlooked. And so now that I'm the president, we're kind of we're actually getting some visibility. And now before um, there's a strategic meeting coming up for funding. And it was suggested yesterday to come up with a proposal. And I was like, whoa, this is new. But then when I looked at this and I was like, oh my gosh, this could help me get started and figuring out a proposal. So this is really timely. This is really great. And it hits on a lot of levels. So I appreciate that.
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. In approaching the creation of the tool, like I said, I really had the past experience and exchange that took place in this room in the back of my head. That was the problems that I was trying to solve, right? And the algorithm was based around the exchange that we had. And yes, fundamentally, it's about asking ourselves the right question or asking AI the right question to get the right solution, right? So I'm happy that this is bearing fruit. I hope to hear more the success stories around the benefit of the use of this tool, especially because every intake I get will allow me to adjust the tool for better results, right? It comes back to that workflow that we went over. We're at the implementation. Well, I need to review and optimize, right? So you going through this process will allow this tool to become better as you also start building the reflexes, because once you experience this, once you note these questions in the back of your mind, whenever you are positioned in front of a situation, you fall back onto these key questions, right? If I'm okay, this and boom. Make sense? Questions, case scenarios. Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
Hey, how accurate is this statement? I've been hearing it a lot, but they say the leaders of 2026 and 2027 are not going to be those who leverage AI, but those who know how to communicate with AI. How accurate is that statement?
It is accurate. It is very accurate, I would say, because understanding how to speak to the AI allows you to leverage AI properly, right? If you cannot communicate your ideas, you can't leverage any power. It's just like if you have the greatest team, but as a leader, you can't guide them, you can't speak to them. You will never get the right result out of that uh, team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for example, case uh, um, in front of us, me being able to leverage the power of AI to come to the coding of these tools required me to understand how to communicate with that, with AI. A different AI on top of that, because you start with one AI, you finish the other, right? So approaching the conversation with the AI was fundamental in producing these tools. Leveraging is the AI doing the work and me testing to see, okay, that is the outcome that I was expecting. Communication has always been the power, right? Sales is based on communication. Go ahead, Dr. Lisa.
Oh, just to Kim's point, I was going to say that's so much more true now because we almost don't have humans training AIs anymore. They have AIs training AIs. And the AI output that they're giving us is optimizing for talking to other AIs. So if we don't know how to enter into that conversation, yeah, they're making on-ramps for us with natural language, but the logic is AI to AI. So that was a great point, Kim. Um, I, I I want to, if I may, I want to share
Go ahead.
the output of, or the end. It's not the end, but I'm going to share an image. Let me see. And also, if since I'm in a new chat, I would love it if you put the link to the tool again.
Yeah. I'll do so. Here, I'm going to download the image.
This image is the culmination of my process so far.
Here is the link. Sorry. Here. And now, let's take a
Thank
look.
you.
Oh, pleasure. Take a look at the picture. Now, Where is it going? Let me just see. Sorry for the delay. Taking time. Sorry for the delay. My computer is giving me a little bit of run around the ropes, but I got it. Power image, I like. Let's see. Let me share it. I like the silver armor. Rise with the blue phoenix, natural GLP-1 support. You guys are seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So I love this opening. We have the interest right there. Rise with Blue Phoenix, natural GLP-1 support. No needle, 30 days to momentum. That no needle, no injection is definitely a good uh, uh, interest capture because everybody has fear of needles. Uh, personal experience recently, I had to bring my my father to the hospital, and I did not know up till recently that he had a fear of needle.
Oh boy.
Yeah. When we went there, you had to take the injection, and it was the first time, as far as I can remember. Yeah, it's the first time that I saw my father with that eye of like, whoa, I'm not gonna like this. And even the expression that he was getting, like, oh my God, uh, yeah, needles. Nobody likes those. Love the QR code. This is something that you're gonna be posting, I assume, a lot.
I will. Now that QR code, I'm going to change the destination of it. I'm putting it there just for the, placement right now, but because I have to build a funnel for it. At least, a capture information capture. There's no capture there.
I have nothing to say about this one. It is strong. It follows in the interest, intention, call to action. It's simple. It's to the point, and we're giving we're hitting some of these points, these questions that were part of the product profiler. Give me some features. Give me a one-liner, right? So 30-day weight loss kit, 3 system plus simple meal nap, support safety and portion control, steady energy with protein, fiber, and minerals, right? This is what we are offering. This is how it works. This is how you get it. Okay, so this is powerful. The fine print here, educational only, not medical advice. Result very natural. GLP. Oh, it was GLP. I kept hearing GOP. GLP-1 support refers to the nutrients and lifestyle strategy that support natural metabolic function. That is actually a very clear statement here. The nutrients and lifestyle strategy that support normal metabolic function. And this is part of disclosure, correct?
Disclaimer. Yeah. Yes.
Disclaimer.
For
Even as a disclaimer, for me, it's a strong interest grab. Use nutrients and lifestyle strategy that support normal weight loss. Right? That's very strong for me. It takes the I think the medical context out of this statement, right? GLP-1, okay, what is it? But if I say, hey, use a system that brings in natural nutrient and lifestyle strategy together, to support you into your goal, losing weight within the next 30 days, right? So that makes it even more consumable, I think. Oh, nutrients, okay, it's food, um, li- li- um, life strategy, no injection, it's a safe bet, right? So, but as it is right now, it's strong. It encompasses the product properly. Um, Even so, now the importance of matching the conversation with the funnel process that we're going to be following, right? Because that is the end result here that we're chasing. Making sure that I know my customer, making sure that I know my product, and combining these two will allow me to bring them from one point to the other across the different brackets of my sales flow, right? From interest to, okay, you want to learn more. Let's book an assessment so we can learn more about you to better adapt this life strategy process to your needs, right? And in building the rapport, we get to understand, okay, what are the specific around this life of theirs that we need to address. Bringing into the folds the different aspects of our products, building that momentum for the you should try. 30 days to see a result. 30 days for a life-changing experience. It is not 30 days for you to change the rest of your life is a fair trade. Right? So these are where you start building up on the values of what you already know or already have chosen to put forward. Right? There's this insistence in your presentation of 30 days. It's an idea of a short-lived commitment for a no limit reward. That's seductive, right? Give us 30 days and live the result the rest of your life. Join our special nutrient program that combines lifestyle strategy and support to make you reach your goal. No ingestion required. Right? Just picking apart those keywords and making the choice to stay in this zone allows you to go to the next step. I have here I'm talking generally, right? But I haven't started targeting an audience, right? I would have to add, are you a woman? Of course, in your 30s, in your 40s, I'm starting to go for that audience, right? Are you a family? Are you a mother, right? Suffering with the difficulty of being active because of your weight challenges. Well, there are no more. We have that 30-day work solution that will give you a life-changing experience. You see, now it becomes a lot more powerful. And essentially, I'm just rearranging your conversation here. I'm not even bringing new words. I'm just picking apart these words and, okay, this is the audience that I'm trying to sell to. This is the points that they want to hear.
Okay, I need to show you one more thing. If I
Go ahead.
may I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on.
I hope everybody else is seeing value in this exchange and looking at, okay, well, how do I come back and match that approach to my products?
Okay, so this is I'm building up a presentation, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to record a video